in the previous episode, Wu Jin seemed to suggest that Kang Mu passed the curse to San Yung. But in the 7th episode, Wu Jin asks San Yung to find out about Choi Mainwo for answers. This means that Kang Mu didn't start or pass the curse. Wu Jin disappears, leaving San Yung to investigate him by looking at his school uniform's logo. Haesang learns from the shaman that Kang Mu and his mother became friends while they were investigating the evil spirit. It seems like Haesang is much younger than Kang Mu. Detective Menchoan learns about Choi Mainwo's suicide case and realizes that from that point on, bruise marks have been found on many suicide victims. Menchoan and Haesang decide to meet. In a flashback, we see Kim Chi-won bringing his son Wu Jin to the Yom estate. Haesang's grandmother allows them to stay there after Chi-won's wife passed away. Haesang and Wu Jin become friends, and Haesang notices that Wu Jin is possessed by a hungry ghost. One day, when Wu Jin breaks into Haesang's grandmother's office to steal a camera, he finds a document about Choi Mainwo. Haesang and Menchoan suspect that Choi Mainwo is the killer of Lee Maukthon. Haesang visits Mainwo's great-nephew for answers. During the visit, Haesang realizes that there are no ghosts around and concludes that the nephew isn't a real shaman. After finding out about Haesang's ability to see ghosts, the shaman understands Haesang's purpose. They have a conversation about Choi Mainwo, and the nephew gives Haesang detailed information about his great-aunt. In another flashback, we see Choi Mainwo selecting Lee Maukthon as the scapegoat for the ritual. The nephew offers Haesang his aunt's diary, where Haesang learns that Mainwo was offered a large sum of money from Jungyeon Capital, which is run by Haesang's grandmother. Meanwhile, Hongshi discovers 2 deaths at Jangil High School, with the victims dying in the same way as Yunjung's victims. San Yung realizes that a student at the school was possessed by the hungry ghost. Hongshi is skeptical but agrees to help San Yung find out about Wu Jin. San Yung describes Wu Jin to the principal, who provides his details. It turns out that Wu Jin's locker contained items belonging to the deceased students, and he was punished for it. However, he later died in a car accident. Hongshi notices on the document that Wu Jin is Kim Chi-won's son and realizes that Haesang's family is involved. A clueless San Yung calls Haesang's grandmother to ask about Mainwo and hears the old lady scream. Hongshi then tells San Yung about Haesang's family in their company, Jungyeon Corporation. After seeing old pictures of the company, San Yung has a vision of how Lee Maukthon was killed. At the same time, Haesang confronts his grandmother and learns the truth. The Yom family sacrificed Lee Maukthon to become wealthy and privileged. Haesang's mother sacrificed herself when she discovered that her son would be possessed after her husband's death. The curse then fell on Kang Mu when he came into contact with the cursed objects, and it eventually chose San Yung. A broken-hearted Haesang leaves the estate and finds San Yung on the road, crying after witnessing Lee Maukthon's death in her vision. She angrily blames Haesang for killing a child so that his family could live happily. Hongshi watches them from a distance. San Yung then goes to her grandmother's house. Haesang goes to a bridge and decides to end his life. Wu Jin allows the ghosts to possess him to save Haesang. Haesang breaks down on the bridge, uncertain about what to do next in his life since his only friend has also left him. At the inherited house, San Yung is threatened by Lee Maukthon, who reveals that everyone, including Kang Mu, wished for her death. San Young's vision becomes blurry, and the episode ends.